Once you have created a part or an assembly, you can also create a drawing which will consist of one or more views generated from the part or the assembly. In the drawings, you can add dimensions, tables, legends, and other annotation objects. Now, to create a new drawing file, I will click on the File menu and I will select the New option. The new SOLIDWORKS Document window opens. I will select the drawing type and I will click OK. After a few seconds, a new drawing document is created and the Sheet Format Size window appears. With the Standard Sheet Size option selected, all the standard sheet sizes appear. In addition, if I activate the Only Show Standard Formats, only the formats for the current drafting standard will appear. In this example, I have selected the ISO drafting standard. Now, if I deactivate the Only Show Standard Formats option, you can see sheet formats of other drafting standards as well. Now, by activating the Custom Sheet Size option, I can specify the width and the height of the paper. On the right of this window appears a preview of the sheet. When the custom sheet size is selected, then the paper appears empty without any legend. However, if I activate the standard sheet size again and select the A3 ISO standard format, then in the preview we can see that the paper has borders and a legend. So I will select this paper and I will click OK. Once I do, the new drawing document is created and the Property Manager palette is active. Now, to insert views of a part or an assembly, all I have to do is click on the Browse button, which can be seen under the Part or Assembly to Insert field. Now I want you to notice the ribbon. The tools that appear in the ribbon are quite different from what we have seen up until now. At this point, I will go to the Feature Manager Design Tree palette and I will expand the Sheet 1. Then I will right-click on the Sheet Format 1 and I will select the Display Grid option. In this way, a grid appears on the paper. In the same way, I can hide the grid. So I will click on the Sheet Format 1 and I will select the Display Grid again. Now, as you can see, the grid disappeared. You can also edit the layout of the paper. So I will right-click on the Sheet Format 1 and this time I will select the Edit Sheet Format option. At this point, I have to mention that the Edit Sheet Format tool can also be found in the Sheet Format ribbon. Now I can edit the paper's layout as well as the legend that appears on the bottom right corner. For example, I will select the top line of the legend and I will drag it upwards. Then I will go to the Sketch ribbon and I will activate the Line tool to create another horizontal line. Then I will activate the Trim Entities tool to trim the parts of the lines that I do not need. When I finish editing the legend, I can go to the Annotation ribbon, activate the Note tool and add text to some of the fields. In this example, I will type GA e-Learning Lab and I will press Escape. Then I will select the text object and I will go to the Property Manager palette to edit the font and the alignment of the text. I will click on the Font button and I will select the Calibri font. In addition, I will activate the bold option. I will also increase the text height by changing the value in the units field to 5. Now I will move the text to the center of the field. At this point, I can also insert the logo of the company. To do this, I have to right-click on the ribbon and from the menu that appears, select the Customize option. Once I do, the Customize window appears. I will go to the Commands tab and I will type Sketch Picture in the search field to find the tool I want to add to the ribbon. Once I find the tool, I will drag it to place it on the sketch ribbon. Then I will click OK to close this window and I will activate the Sketch Picture tool. From the open window, I will browse the folders of my computer until I find the image I want to insert. In this example, I will insert a PNG image. The background of a PNG image is transparent. So once I select it, I will click OK. Once I do, the image is inserted. However, the size is not correct and in addition, the background is not transparent. To fix that, I will go to the transparency options of the Property Manager palette and I will select the From File option. Notice that the background of the image became transparent. Now we'll use the grips of the image to change its size. Once I'm satisfied with the size of the image, I will zoom in on the legend and I will place it. Another useful thing is that I can create hyperlinks. For example, I will double-click on the Do Not Scale text and I will replace this phrase with the www.gaelearning.com website. Now to create a hyperlink, I will select the text and I will click on the Insert Hyperlink button, which can be found in the Property Manager palette. In this way, I can link the selected text to either a file or a website. So I will type www.gaelearning.com in the Linked to File or URL field and I will click OK. Now if I click on the text, the website opens automatically. Apart from editing the legend, I can also delete the borders of the paper. To delete the borders, all I have to do is expand the Sheet Format 1, right-click on the border 1 and select Delete Border. In the message that appears, I will select Yes and notice that the borders disappeared. Now to create those borders again, I have to go to the Sheet Format ribbon and click on the Automatic Border button. Once I do, the Property Manager palette activates automatically. If I click on the arrow on the top of the Property Manager palette, I can see all the available border options. For example, I can change the border's thickness or line style. However, in this example, I will click on the check mark to accept the default settings and create a new border. Notice that once I did, the border reappeared. At this point, I will right-click and I will select the Edit Sheet Format again to exit the sheet editing mode. At this point, I should mention that while you are in the sheet editing mode, you can make all the changes you need on the paper and you can also create your own legend and save this sheet format as a template. To do that, you have to click on the File menu and select the Save As option. Then you have to expand the Save As type list and select the Drawing Templates type. I will not change the default name, and I will save the document in the default SOLIDWORKS folder. Now if I create a new document and click on the Advanced button at the bottom of the new SOLIDWORKS document window, in the Templates tab appears the template I just created. Naturally, I can select this template to create a new drawing. However, I will click Cancel to show you one more thing. Before we finish the lesson, I should also mention that we can add more sheets in the same drawing document if we right-click on the sheet format one and select the Add Sheet option. Once I did, a new sheet was added and can be seen as a tab at the bottom of the window. You can add as many papers as you need to insert all the desired views. So now you can create your own drawing template so you don't have to edit the sheet format every time you create a new drawing.